Web3.tv.
Hello and welcome to Web3 Talks. I'm Amnegard, and today we'll be diving into what it takes to build a successful Web3 community, especially for decentralized finance. I'm joined by Mariangel Garcia, someone who's been doing this for years. She's led nearly 20 global communities for the BNB Chain and worked for major exchanges like Binance in Latin America. And now she's bringing all that experience to the Bitcoin ecosystem. So Mariangel, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
And you know a thing or two about building communities. So first I'd like to ask you, what kind of communities are you building right now?
Yeah, I like to work in projects that are aligned with my values and the things that I love. And I'm working in two areas right now. I'm working on the Bitcoin ecosystem, which is a very vibrant narrative these days. Bitcoin has the largest capitalization in the world, is the most known cryptocurrency out there. Everyone who started in crypto, I think their first step was to buy Bitcoin. And to teach this sector, this community, that you can use your Bitcoin on more things is amazing. And I think it will bring more adoption, and it will simplify a lot of steps that are currently making the adoption in the ecosystem a little bit complicated. And another area, I'm working for the women empowerment sector on a project called ElevatHer. This is something that is very close to me because I'm going to support with a couple of friends that also has been organizing this amazing initiative with me. We are going to be supporting a lot of women that are building in the Web3 ecosystem, but they haven't found the resources or there is still a relevant issue in the industry that puts women in an unfavored position. So we are going to allow them to have all the resources that they need to thrive as founder in the ecosystem, because we believe that there's a lot of potential. There is a lot of innovation on startups that are led by women, and they deserve the same visibility and the same support in the industry.
Yeah, have they had more challenges, do you think, than men?
Yeah, there are historical challenges. I'm here in this project to support women because, of course, there are a lot of historical issues, but don't take me as someone who is pushing into a narrative, because when I moved to the Middle East, the first meetings I had were with women. And when I work at Binance, my manager, the co-founder, and almost half of the company are women in leadership positions, in very important positions. And also, I come from Latin America. That's a region where you will always see women at the front of important things. And when it comes about investments in emerging markets, there's also a significant amount of women that are involved in the decisions of their own finance. So I've seen with my own eyes that things are changing, that women are empowered, women are looking to succeed in any industry they are part of. And I think we just need to break the bias and show the good things that are happening. I am not the one that will come and try to fight for something. I will highlight the good things that are happening, because otherwise you and I wouldn't be here. So we have to show that we as women are doing our best. We are working on our best. We are providing value to the projects and the products that we are involved in. And it has to motivate girls and women from all over the world to pursue their dreams and never listen to these ideas against women inequality or any other thing that could block them from working on what they think it deserves their attention.
Yeah, essentially you just need a good product that you're building, right?
Not only that, because there are a lot of good products. For example, Canva is an amazing example of a startup that became a unicorn but got rejected several times because the founder is a woman. And there are many founders who have good ideas, but they have to place a man on a co-founder position or a C-level position, so she has more credibility. And these are the kinds of narratives we want to fight with ElevatHer. We're going to be having an event during Token 2049 in collaboration with Women in Web3, and also with the support of many projects in the industry like MintLayer, like Bit2Me, because we want to highlight the amazing things women are doing, and we want to help them connect with VCs that are going to fuel their ideas.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So you're building kind of communities in the Web 2 space and in the Web 3 space. So what is the biggest difference when it comes to differentiating those two communities?
Well, Web 2 and Web 3 are two different worlds, and I think we have to learn a lot from each other. From the Web2 world, we see a lot of good examples, especially because most of the content creators are there. And we can see good examples of how they are connecting with their communities by understanding the real interest and value that they have to provide to their community. So in Web2, people is engaged because they really enjoy the content of the community, and they really are aligned with what the content creator is sharing. On Web3, we have people that is mostly part of community for different reasons. The most popular is the financial aspects, because by being part of a community, you have benefits, you have access to information, you can invest in the project if you like it. So when it comes to creator economy, the Web2 world has to learn from the Web3 one, because not only the content creator or the community leads, it's able to elevate the project economically, but also the community has the power of being an investor, a supporter, and a real part of the structure of the project. And what we have to learn on the Web3 side from the Web2 one is that we have to really connect with people based on their interests and based on their values. That is what makes a community really stand out. And Web3 has a lot of success in communities here and there, but this is tied to a narrative that is always changing. So you need to be sustainable over time.
Yeah, that's a really good advice. And you come from Venezuela, where they've had a very high adoption when it comes to crypto, and especially stablecoin. So can you tell me, has that experience helped you build, let's say, stronger and better communities from learning from the environment there?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, that's how I got into crypto, because I was mining Bitcoin. Not all the information that was available was in Spanish, and I wanted to learn more. I wanted to connect with more people. And in my town, how am I going to find other Bitcoiners? That's very difficult. It was 2017. So I got into Telegram, I found these communities. That's how I was accessing information, by asking people. And by chance, I just found out the community of Binance, and I started sharing the things that I was learning. And that's how I engage with the people in this group chat. So I was almost every day talking there, to the point that I started liking Binance a lot. I started following what they were doing. They were involving us as a community on their building process when they were just starting. I'm talking 2017. And then I loved the brand so much, I felt part of it, that I wanted to work there. And then I became their local manager for Latin America. And then I scaled, and I moved to Dubai. And then my career basically started at the moment when I wanted to learn more and also share with the people what I was learning as a user. And then I got the opportunity of lead that. So that is very related to Venezuela, because by that time we were also attending to a lot of offline events there, because there was a lot of interest in what is this Bitcoin thing. We had a crashing economy, and a lot of people was trying to understand what crypto is and how stablecoins can help us from hyperinflation. So the key thing here is that if you want a community to succeed and to grow, because it was growing a lot, every time we were doing an event there, the next one was bigger and bigger and bigger, you had to connect with the needs of the people. You have to be part of them. And the best advice that I always give Web3 projects is that if you're building something, build it along with your community. Create a focus group with them, share the daily updates, weekly updates, whatever you like with them. Ask them for advice. If you want a Web3 project to succeed, you have to localize it. You have to make it very specific for the regions that you want to target. And you can hire the best people, but if you have the community also sharing suggestions to you, you are going to build something faster, and you're going to evolve faster, because you are going to your community is going to be your best beta testers, your exactly. best product team. And that is something that Binance did, and I admire so much, because they always involve the community since day one. And that is something that I'm always trying to do at every project I'm in, because I've seen how helpful it is.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you've been very successful at that. I led, I think, 16 international communities
yes.
at BNB Chain, and now you're working with MintLayer.
Yes.
And which is a decentralized
exactly,
platform,
yes.
like for DeFi?
Yeah. It's a Bitcoin sidechain. So the Web3 world is divided in many niches, and there's one for Bitcoin. So the challenge here is to support the Bitcoin diversification, let's say, because right now, if you have a Bitcoin, the things that you can do are pretty limited. If you have Solana, for example, you can use several products. So for Bitcoin, it's starting to evolve. We are at a very interesting point where the potential of the BTC-Fi ecosystem is very low compared to the other ones. The percentage is super small right now. So if we grow to the point of Ethereum, the growth that we will see is massive. So the challenge here is to build a foundation where people who has Bitcoin can use their own Bitcoin, their native Bitcoin, without wrapping it, without exchanging it for other token, and respecting the core features of Bitcoin to make it the safest as possible.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a completely different chain, right? So when they asked you to lead this project, what's been your strategy, and what kind of benefit do people have by joining this community?
Well, there are different stages. Right now, we have an amazing community of node operators that understand the project, that are technically supporting the project. And I think that is our biggest strength at the moment. And the next stage is going to work on inviting projects to build on us and then build communities with them. Because at the end of the day, we are the foundation, and the projects that decide to build on us and share their product to the community are going to be the actual product that people is going to use. So for that, everyone's invited to build on us. It's very simple, and we have a community that's very excited on what's coming next.
Yeah, there's been a lot of interest in mid-layer, right? So you're basically, then again, just making niche communities within this project, right?
Exactly.
To sort of really tap into needs and preferences.
Exactly, yes.
So that's a really good point that you've made there. And also when we think about communities, especially in the Web3 space, there are words that are thrown around. People talk about communities and ecosystems. So when does a community go from being just a community to an ecosystem?
Wow, it's when it evolves, obviously. And if you are talking about a big project, you have different segments inside that community. If you are a blockchain, you have the community of developers, the community of retail users, the community of creators, the community of journalists. At some point I had in one of the projects I was involved. So it is all related to the use cases that you find within your product and how you want to communicate with your community. And again, the best way here is to divide under the same umbrella based on the interests of your community to get the most engagement as possible.
And when it comes to, let's say, a successful community, how do you define that, and what does that look like for you?
For me, a successful community is the one that has users who are real, who are not there just for the financial interest, but also because they like your product and they will recommend and share your product because they truly found value there. You can get KOLs, you can get many activations, but when you have someone in your community that's doing the KOL job for free because they like it, that's the thing that tells you, okay, this is a success.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And when it comes to, I mean, people have so many strategies on building communities. What are some strategies that you've seen that, wow, like this is a huge mistake, or what are the main mistakes that people make, do you see?
Well, there are a lot of mistakes in this process. I think we all been part of it at some point. And definitely one that I've seen a lot is relying on one narrative and relying on a momentum, especially in a market that changes so much like ours, because you want to have a community that lasts over time, that's sustainable. Yeah. And that's the challenge for every product, not just rely on one thing, one narrative, one product, because then people will get tired. This is like entertainment. If you want to keep them engaged, you need to prepare an agenda of events, an agenda of content for them, an agenda of activations for them. You need to actually be very creative, bring your partners, bring your competitors, and not just shield them a product, because you don't go to a place just to be part of a constant propaganda of something. You come to a place because you like the content that they share. It has some interest that is relevant to you. So that is something that people need to know, that they have to prepare a parallel project based on community for their community. It's not just sharing information and inviting them to your product. It won't work.
Okay, interesting. And when it comes, I mean, you have so much knowledge when it comes to communities. You see this space grow so much. So in your opinion, are there any communities out there that you feel like are underrated?
Yeah, of course, there are many. I follow mostly Spanish communities because of my background. I'm Venezuelan, and I've seen a lot of communities of where projects are doing the bare minimum, and the people sit still there because they like the value proposition. And there are many spaces actually now that you ask me this question, and I think that it's not about which ones. It's something that everyone has to have present, because we might make this mistake. We might think, oh, they are engaging, numbers are okay, it's not dropping, it's fine, but you don't leave your community. If they're active, you keep showing, you keep sharing information with them, you keep making them feel involved in your projects.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the rest will happen naturally.
On the flip side, do you think there are any communities that are overrated?
No, well, I think meme communities maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, people are mixed when it comes to meme communities. And if you were just to kind of synthesize or just break it down in easy terms, what is your best strategy for someone who wants to grow and scale their community?
Be natural. Be a human. Because we are on an era of content where people like the things that are transparent, especially in the industry we're in. This industry was born because of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is a P2P platform if you go to the white paper, but it's also a philosophy. So people in social media, they don't engage with what's over-fabricated, right? We don't. Yeah. We like to follow the content creator that show us their process, and we feel them like a friend when we see their story, and that's something that we should replicate in crypto and this finance world. We should, as products, share with our community all our progress, all our stories, and they will love the product because they will feel as part of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's so important, and it makes a lot of sense what you say. And if we just look at the future, I mean, now we see many decentralized finance projects trying to build communities. But in your opinion, where do you see this community or this area moving next?
It should move to a point where the community is part of the product, and not just an asset of the marketing team. And there are a lot of products working on it, working on solutions that their community can use. And that is something that has to be worked with the product team. And product teams should also consider that these assets as something that could add to their main value propositions. It is not just for products that are made for communities, like ticketing systems, but there are a lot of ideas that you can develop that can make them active users and also interact in your community and also be part of what you're building. So yeah, I think that don't underestimate your community, involve them on their product. And I think that the major exchanges and even the Web2 platforms are taking this into consideration, because you see them how now people can create their profiles with NFTs and vice versa. So yeah, I think that the experience of the user has to be part of the core product.
And you must be really excited because now the space is becoming more mainstream. People are adopting to, or the adoption for cryptocurrencies is becoming more in the mainstream. So what are you most excited about, especially as a community builder?
About use cases that arrive to you without you looking at them, and that are aligned with the things that you like. For example, if you buy a bag these days, it will come with an NFT card of a blockchain, and then you will see, oh, this is nice, and maybe if they have a community, you can go to people that has a similar interests that you have, and then you can have an experience, especially in a city like Dubai, where there are a lot of communities of expats, of people in finance, of people in fashion, and so many things. It's exciting. It's exciting because there could be many use cases and also many things that will be simpler if we involve solutions that are already built on our industry.
Yeah, and I think it's also really important to work with people like you who understand the Web3 community and not just take something from Web 2 and try to make it Web 3 and really implement the mindset and what works and what doesn't, right? So it's really important to sort of learn from people who've been so successful as you.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. The mindset is very important because I keep seeing the error of underestimating communities, seeing it just as a number on a social media profile, and it's something that goes beyond that. It will affect the share of voice of your product. It will affect the performance of your product. It will affect the growth of your product. So you have to also not only train your marketing team, but your whole team to understand that everyone has to take a little bit of care of the community.
Yeah, and treat it like a baby almost.
Yeah, of course, and then you'll see the results. It's really, it's something that helps every project a lot.
Yeah, and your next event, the ElevatHer, is going to be taking place on May 1st, you said?
Yeah. During Token 2049, yes.
Okay, perfect. So can you share how more people can, let's say, sign up or learn more information about it?
We are already sold out, which is amazing. But let's see, we will approve the rest of people that's on the list if we have the space. So apply if you haven't. And this is going to be an amazing event. We have a beautiful venue in Jumeirah Street. We have the Juan Valdez Cafe. So we are going to be sharing with everyone Latin American food, Colombian coffee.
Oh, nice.
And we have a beautiful group of ladies that are extremely talented that are going to be participating as speakers, judges, because we are going to have a pitch storm with the women that are founders. And the line of ladies that we have at this event is very professional. We have the lead, the community lead and local marketing from Crypto.com. We have the founder of Women in Investment Network. We have the founder of Women in Web3 that's flying from the US to Dubai that week. We have the founder of Warming Circle that's based on Barcelona and it's also coming. We have Malak who's also into investing and she has an amazing story with working on a startup and having a successful exit. And these are ladies that are going to be sharing their experience with everyone that goes there. And it's going to be very helpful because there are a lot of questions and as women in this industry, we have to figure it out ourselves, but we have created a space that is going to help us find support from each other. So
it's really taking all these successful women from various aspects of the Web3 community and allowing women to learn from them.
Yeah, but not only that, it's a space that it's focused on women, but we have the support of amazing men in the industry. We have Andres from Crypto OGs, we have Enrico from ElevatHer also on our judge panels. We have the guys from Bit2Me supporting us from Europe. And that's what we want in the industry. We want an industry that brings equal opportunities to everyone, that brings a space that's based in meritocracy, not just in gender or not just in nationality. And that's the theme that we have. I know, of course, that women is just women supporting women is a label, but at the end of the day, this is a space for everyone and it's completely open to anyone that wants to grow in Web3.
Yeah, so we'll definitely provide the link so people can find out more about it. But finally, I just want to ask you one last thing. If you were to sum up the Web3 community philosophy in one sentence, how would you sum it up?
Okay, let me think. I think you have to be you have to be real and build trust and respect your community.
I think that's really good. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been really inspiring and insightful, so thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
And that's all that we had for you today. My name is Lisa Amnegard, and you're watching Web3 Talks.
Web3.tv